All right, happy Friday. We are back almost to the weekend here. Let's go. Let's get the suspenseful music playing. We got our Last of Us going here. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I wish I could play the actual Last of Us like music. I'm fairly positive I can't though. All right. I want to make sure we can hear the music. Looks good. All right. Friday then. It is Friday then. We are back on a Friday. We are not going to be doing figure painting today. No figure Fridays. Kind of figure Fridays, I guess, because we are painting some figures, not oil painting. We are doing our Last of Us watercolor piece. Yesterday we finished up Ellie, and today we're going to finish up Joel, the background, and the highlights. Hopefully finish it all the way to 100%. We are enjoying the piece. We're enjoying watercolors right now. We've been doing a lot of different stuff. We did gesture drawing, charcoal portraits, figure drawing, watercolor pieces, oil painting. We've been doing a lot of different stuff. We have the music's making me talk all intense to get me ready. We have a oil painting time-lapse stream coming out this weekend. So that'll be fun. We just posted a new blog on our Medium, and we're going to continue producing a lot of different content. We're trying to schedule out a couple, I don't even know if it's going to be podcasts, but studio chats, might call them. They're going to be pretty fun with a couple different people. And otherwise, we're just going to keep doing the live art. We're going to keep opening the studio doors, keep creating. We have painting next week. We did a lot of charcoal drawing. We finished some nice charcoal studies this week that we're going to turn into a painting next week and a finished charcoal drawing on really nice paper. So that's fun. That's two things next week. We also have another oil painting that we want to create. I'm trying to see if I can find what it is because I can't think of which one it was. But there was another oil painting that I wanted to create, and we still have two skate decks that we have to complete. So skate decks are back there. One's primed and ready. The other one will prime and get ready. Michael Scott and I don't have the other one yet, but the other one's kind of a custom piece. Bloodlust, I don't know. Sweetest Taste, I don't know yet. I don't know what it's gonna be titled, but it's close. It's close. But we have a nice custom skate deck that we're gonna do there, and we're just gonna keep producing a lot of our artwork. Again, we're not here to make the best YouTube videos. We're here to open our studio doors, hang out with everybody that's chilling, and create some really awesome, inspiring artwork along the way and spread good vibes. That's it. That's what we're here for. That's what we can offer people. I wouldn't have it any other way. We got to get a more secure mount for this camera. Look at that. It's like we're in an earthquake. All right. I'll just stop shaking the table. All right, let's hop right into it, I guess, right? Because somebody has to come fix up our sink at some point. We're probably going to go again another 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours like usual. We're not going to go over. So either it'll be done in that time or we'll finish it over the weekend and just show the results. And yeah, let's hop right over. I think we have to zoom in. I think we have to zoom in a little bit here. We had it a little tighter yesterday. A little too tight maybe. Do we want it even closer? I don't know. I don't really know what everybody vibes with, you know. I mean, I guess that's probably better, right? You guys don't really have to see all the paint mixing that goes down. We're using our same palette. We really like this like triple raceway mixing palette. Actually the cover from another Gansai Tambi. I believe it's a plastic cover / palette that they built in, but the larger set doesn't have it. It actually has individual covers, which I think will be too small to mix up paint, but I'm probably gonna try it some point. But right now we're using the 3-1, and we really like it because we can kind of work with our 3 primary colors, and it's kind of nice. So we might look for a bigger style like this, or we might just keep rocking with this one as long as we can. Might try to make it a little bit more permanent. What we're gonna do first, always, like we say, is look at it, see what needs to be fixed, see where we have to jump in. We said we were gonna come in and finish out his skin tone next. Finish out basically all the coloring that's not the direct highlights. The music too loud? I don't know if anybody's even here yet, but if anybody is, just let me know music wise, volume wise. And then I'm actually going to start by sketching in some of this background a little darker, so that we can kind of start seeing that a little bit more. I'm not going to do it darker. I shouldn't say that. It's going to stay similar to this light feel because we want it to stay in the background. So we might do a little bit of that, and then we might outline a little bit more of her and darken up some of these values, but we really like how this came out here. And we're going to keep just having fun with the piece. One thing we didn't necessarily do today is we haven't warmed up with gesture drawings. So our first couple of marks, that's kind of why we're going to start scribbling and sketching in the background, is kind of going to be our gesture drawing warm-up, if that makes sense. But again, because it's Friday now, we did gesture drawing Monday, we've been creating for 5 days, and the last 3 days we probably did 10 to 12 hours of artwork, give or take. We're fairly warmed up and in the rhythm as well. So while it's not crucial that we don't jump right into it, you want to get warmed up. We're also, again, we're in a rhythm. We're in a good rhythm for sure after these 5 days of artwork. That's a lot of times why there's many artists that, again, after a time, not necessarily don't do gesture drawings, but they don't get as warmed up with them because they wake up, they draw, they sketch, they draw, they sketch, they paint, they wake up, they draw, they sketch. There's never a cool down. If that makes sense. Okay, so like I said, I am going to kind of draw in a little bit of this background here. With a 1, I guess, size. I don't know exactly what the different sizes are here. I have to learn my size, the pen sizes more as I continue to use them. To be honest, I don't love these. I like these Pentels. I think these Pentel point liners or the Micron brush tips, not the brush tips though, but the the pointed marker tips. Everywhere I kept showing that it was in the dark side. Are some of my favorite for lining, personal favorites. I think they're in the description below the link if anybody wants to check them out. But I kind of just think they work. I like them because they're consistent almost throughout the piece, so they go down nice at the beginning, and then as you get paint on, they still kind of feel very similar towards the final marks and all that, even as a lot of paint starts going down. Another planet. I forgot how weird some of these songs are. That's fun. But so again, this is obviously the fungus. If nobody's familiar with Last of Us, it's originally a PlayStation 4 video game that was one of the greatest games. I think it got Game of the Year, multiple Game of the Years, even as it was remastered. But it was one of the most successful PlayStation games of all time. Super fun, super cool, developed story. and they turned it into a TV show. And it's a very good TV show so far, like hands down. I think people are saying, like, unequivocally, it's the best video game to TV show that we've seen, or that we've had by far. And I would strongly agree with that as well. I never even played the game. I just am definitely one for a little too much. Not like we wanted to. Okay, there we go. We're gonna ignore that part. But yeah, the show's very good. HBO, it's awesome. And Bella Ramsey plays Ellie. Pedro Pascal plays Joel. And man, they are awesome. Bella Ramsey's so fucking good. She is going to be awesome. I think you saw that early on in Game of Thrones when she was just such a strong, captivating character. At such a little age. And now this is a fun role where I think, so I don't know much about the game, but I think Ellie's going to be a little bit stronger of a character in the TV show. Maybe she was a very strong character in the game as well. And Joel, maybe they very much keep each other alive. I don't know too much. That's part of the journey that I'm exploring and enjoying with the TV show. But it's a very fun show. It's a very, again, so far. And if you're into survival shows, good acting, definitely check it out. It's fun. You can see how good this goes down still. Even whether I'm going over paint or just the paper spots. And that's sometimes the hard part with, or I shouldn't say the hard part. That's very much the important part with using different color, different size pens. If you're using the microns or liners, because they will go down very differently. And again, if I'm using a thick liner, all this is going to come far forward and start messing with the feel of the depth and the focus of them. Again, I want them to be, stand out from the background for sure. That said, I need the background to read as a very large and disgusting growth of fungus on this wall. We're going to have fun with him building that up. But again, we're not going to make it crazy detailed because we want the focus to be on them. We say that and then we end up, spending 60 hours on just the fungus now. Ultimately, it's just like these phalanges just like twisting and spinning, intertwining. So we kind of want to get that movement and layers, again, without making it super scratchy. And this is very much where we're interpreting the shapes and the feel of what we're looking at, because the last thing we're going to try to do is copy every single mark. It's just going to not read like we want it to, and it's going to look far overworked. And again, just you won't even notice them if you'll be looking at them. Different things work in photographs than they do in paintings or drawings or watercolor. Any medium. Again, that's the big thing you start learning too, is depending on what the subject matter is, there's a medium that will best convey that image. If that makes sense. And that's a big part of choosing the subject matter. Not that you have to, but that's a big part for me personally. And that's what'll decide almost whether I use oil painting, charcoal, watercolor, markers, mixed media, pen and ink, depending on what it is kind of where my head leans to then go, oh, you know what that's going to look like? You know what that's going to look good as? Or you know what that's going to be really fun to recreate in? Then I get to it. And you do it. You want to do it while the idea is hot and fresh in your head, because otherwise other ideas will pop in. You'll kind of lose interest. When you have those good ideas, do it. Lex Friedman, incredible, obviously, podcast, blah, blah, whatever. Awesome. He is just awesome. He's so optimistic. It's fucking beautiful. But it was interesting because he brought a poem to Joe Rogan the other day, and it was, oh God, I can't remember. A Russian writer, I believe. Borshchak. Damn it. I'll find it and post it. But it was a poem about, it was like, don't do it. And it was ultimately saying, don't do it unless you just feel it exploding from you and it's something you feel you have to do. And it was interesting. And I couldn't tell if I agree with that. But I don't think it's as easy said than done. And I kind of think he does too. You know what I mean? But I guess ultimately it is that simple where when you have the idea to do something, when you have the creative idea, the vision of, oh man, that'd be nice, or do it while the idea is fresh and hot and you're into it. And the idea is consuming you. That's when you want to really jump right in. So that's why, again, we have plans for painting days or certain days. All of that can change because this isn't a class. It's a studio. All of our work's going to be very different because this is a studio. And as we've said time and time again, we're going to enjoy the process. That's what it's about here. All right. So I'm going to try something quick. One thing you can do, if I can duplicate. Oh. So one thing that you can do, or that I will do from time to time, is you overexpose and underexpose a piece and you work from, or a reference, and you work from both. Because that shows you detail in the darks and detail in the lights. You lose your midtones per se, but you can find pieces of both. So sometimes there's little details that you can add on without adding too much. And then there's more details that you can see in highlights. So sometimes I go in and I will brighten, pretty much overexpose the settings, brighten the shadow, etc. And it just lets you see more. I can't show you the example, but I can now see almost all of the detail in how this backpack looks. Again, I don't want to show it because that's, like I said, the photo's overexposed now. So I lose all of this. I lose all this background almost. The whole angle. Do you know what I mean? All the darks start disappearing. But then if you go the other way and underexpose it, you start seeing all the detail that you don't hear. All this detail in her hair. You start seeing the highlight strands of hair. You start seeing all that. So it's helpful to work from both big time. But what I'm doing right now is overexposing. So I can put a few more marks and lines here where I want to. Or at least shade it accordingly a little bit different. Because it's close, but I want it to be accurate. and see what all these marks are. So again, I can clean them up just enough to have that little bit of detail in some of these dark areas that I can then... What the fuck? I'm so happy. Never stream from a Mac. God, this thing's internet. Just kicks all over the place. It's wildly frustrating. Never stream from a Mac. I'm so happy I only use this for reference pieces. I'm gonna do something kind of reckless here. That's not true. I'm just gonna try to move a light and it might not work at all. Nice. All right, so I just moved the light onto this side so that when I'm jarring, I don't have the light's not coming from here and just shading the whole thing out. I have another light coming in under my shadow. It wasn't reckless. I just didn't know how easy it was going to be. The music made it intense. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's keep rolling here. Like the graphic novel feel almost, so we're gonna kind of try to keep that going a little bit. I do enjoy, like I've said it before, I've worked on a couple like Judge Dredd, a couple recognizable characters. I've done some Marvel, not many. I should do more. But I do always enjoy seeing other artists' interpretations of recognizable characters, like I've said. I think it's a very fun thing to see because you can actually see a lot of, you know, stylized marks because you, especially if you've seen them before or know what to look for. It's like old comic books when they would have different Spider-Man or different this or that. That's just always fascinated me. So there is something really fun about working on recognizable characters and you know, doing it in a very different creative manner. And letting that kind of, you know, drive the process, being free with that process. Because like I said, while this is, again, I'm approaching it almost like a commission piece in that I want their likenesses to all work. It's still, like I said yesterday, reinterpreting the piece because it's my own piece. I chose it because I thought it would be a very nice a very nice watercolor piece with the colors and everything. So the color and lighting again is just one thing that I'm always interested in. Movies, shows, because they do such an incredible job lighting these scenes that we don't. Well, I shouldn't say, we don't appreciate or recognize, but the work that goes into it is definitely more than we, especially for these live TV shows or stuff that we think are, not fake, that we think are real and all that. No, all that's so much. It can't not be, because there's just too much money in it to allow that chance. But it's not going to be incredibly entertaining. See, now I can see some of these buttons that are actually in his shirt that I can like kind of put in and kind of lose for detail underneath. And again, I can now see that because I upped the exposure. It's a really, really good trick. Sometimes we do some work, not sometimes. This one I didn't work too much more on off stream because it ended late. So I'm kind of just going back into some of the things that I definitely want to do and had to do before I kept moving forward. Sorry, I got to turn here. Like I said, I'm enjoying the graphic novel almost feel to it with some of the pen and ink marks going through here. And we've never, well, I guess, I don't know. Their graphic novel version of Last of Us is pretty cool. All right, let's hop right into Joel here. Because we have enough information for Ellie. And this feels like the hero soundtrack, you know? Kind of has to be Joel, right? I guess. I mean, at least in the book. I mean, in the game. Do you play as Ellie in the game? Maybe you do. I know, I did this yesterday. This is Mission Impossible. How I don't recognize it so much sooner is upsetting. I'm darkening what I think is going to stay a nice perfect black here, so that I won't have to go back in it. This is a little Here we go. Nope. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I've always loved pen and ink and watercolor drawings like this. I think it does. It just sort of brings me back to early art, not early art forms. That's not it, but like early comic book art that I think was a lot of this. Marker style, simple layering for values, and then just like a mixture of some great line work. I think that's definitely one of my favorite parts of starting to use watercolor painting. Watercolor paint. Heck. Right. We're actually gonna pull this up and then hop right over. Yeah? Yeah. Works for me. Let me skin. Oh. See, maybe I have to set up like a little, I don't know if that was on the stream, but like I bend it because it's such thin plastic and I really like it as a palette. So I gotta find a nice sturdy one of these. Or like fix it to a little box or something. Alright. So we're gonna start with the strap. We're going for like a leather, a brown leather. Most importantly, we're gonna flip our palette because we want our paints in the same place we always are used to them. Second, most importantly, we're gonna go for the value first. Watercolors, I use a big palette. I use I think this is 48. I think this is the 48 one. Oil paint, I have a far less. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It's Friday, okay? Paint in peace. Oil paint in my palette is far less colors. Almost dropped my paintbrush all over. All right, so now the important part is I definitely want to click back to my original reference so that I don't start going into this piece with a different value. Dun dun. Take your time mixing up your colors. The longer you spend mixing, the closer you'll probably be when you put your first color down. It's fine to not be close. It is 100%. Fine to be close. It's fine to get it first, right off the bat. But spend a lot of time mixing up your colors because it'll just be easier to be really close or dead on than worrying about going back in and changing every color you put down, you know? dun, 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 dun. I like these Artezas a lot. They hold more water. And I feel like hold more pigment so that I can like work them around much more. I'm just going through. Is everything like dry today? What is this? I didn't wet the paper yesterday. Friday then. That's why we enjoy the process every time. Because you never know how it's going to compare to the next painting. It is not a science, this art thing. You can make it one as much as you want. Not a science. Works on a Monday, might not work on a Tuesday. And almost nothing works on Friday. The fun part that we're creating, which is always a beautiful thing. All we can ask for. The biggest thing I have to try to keep telling artists and myself, I shouldn't just say artists, but myself. If you're blessed enough to just enjoy and like have time to create and paint and draw, just enjoy it for the process. Let go of the outcome. Let go of how good it is compared to your, you know, your fellow artists, your contemporaries, your favorite artists of all time, whatever it might be. But let go of all of that and just appreciate that you're blessed enough to paint and create. Not even paint, that you're blessed enough to create, right? Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that much. It's okay. The Suspenseful music is no joke. I definitely said it yesterday, probably to that exact song, but that makes you paint so fast. So again, you can tell we're warming up throughout the piece. That's why we kind of started with the background. Now we're working up to the figure so that we can continue seeing everything we have to see properly. Seeing the values as they come to light. Want a nice dark here. Constantly squinting down to check edges, how soft, how hard you want to make an edge. If you squint down and can't see it, squinting down just helps you with your values, helps you see your values. What it does is it kind of removes that mid-tone, so you just see like the darks and the lights. So again, that's why I say sometimes it's really nice to check. I check a lot of edges doing that. This is a good way to see if you can see an edge. If you can't see an edge when you squint down, sometimes that's a fun edge to lose or to loosen, to break up, like I've talked about. Again, I just keep moving so that I have a little bit of a glare as I look down from this light. I have a new light coming today. I can't wait. It's gonna come up right here and go over. Oh, it's gonna be fucking brilliant. But that is why I kind of tend to move around, and you will too if you have to. You got to do it. You want to be able to see. It's just when there's like water down because there's a little bit of a glare. Because you might not also have to, but be aware that if you see a glare, you're going to want to move a little bit left or right so that you can see it a little bit more accurately. We do not normally do paintings like this, but it's fun. I think this style kind of came about during like Inktober for us. Where we kind of started working. Again, I don't want to keep saying like graphically illustrative, maybe. I guess where we just started using watercolor and pen and ink much more was Inktober. We pushed through the barriers of learning it and enjoyed the process. I think it's not tough to work that way, but for me, oil paints just don't necessarily lend themselves to that same style. They're nice. I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit, pick some of that pigment up. That strong of an angle there. That's better. That's a better shape. Pretty good. Gonna have to paint from the live stream here. Camera's legit. It's like a glare-free periscope. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. It literally is. All right, cool. Let's get some of him done. He's getting old, man. I have to watch that clip. That's all right. All right, where are we at now? Let's see. How long have we been going? Yeah, an hour. Fuck, man. Time flies when you're having fun, I tell ya. Can't stress that enough. I'm gonna do, before I get into his face, I'm gonna try to take I'm gonna pick up a little bit of paint from her, and I am gonna take a 5-minute break. Because I don't want to stop halfway through his face. And as I'm looking up here, I want to fix this a little bit here. If I can without adding paint to it. I might not be able to. But sometimes when you let it sit, you can start to pick up more paint, I feel like, which is interesting. Because the paper just gets so watered down that you can't pick it up anymore. But if a little bit of time goes, I think you can get a little bit more up. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but whatever. Again, you get this brilliant sort of transparent skin tone that just peeks through there, and it's just wonderful. That's working transparencies right there. I'm not sure, again, this is like a watercolor thing or more of like from my oil painting. Couldn't tell you. But I can tell you it works. And again, it ultimately just comes down to, like I've said, is if you put paint down, you can see, if you put paint on your canvas, you can see things and you can start manipulating it. If you have no paint on the canvas, you can't erase it. If you have charcoal down, you can erase it. You know what I mean? You need marks that you can fix and remove. Because again, that transparency, that layering is sometimes what just look, you can't duplicate some of that. I don't know if that's true, but I believe it to be true that there are certain layering techniques that you can't duplicate. Specifically sometimes if and when you're copying a master's painting. Unless you copy it, like, unless you know sort of their process, it's tough sometimes because it just doesn't look quite right because they did it a different way. They glazed, they used transparencies, etc. That's what we want. Nice. Very nice. I might have to put more paint down here, but I'm gonna try to do the same thing to the ear. Oh yeah, that's gonna be picked up. That's gonna pick up the black. Keep my door camera on. My water cup shouldn't really be over my painting. That's just dumb. Every time I keep bringing my brush back, it like splatters paint. Classic artist move. All right, dope. Dope, dope, dope. Dope is dope. Dope is dope ever smoked. Hands down. Dope is dope. Kind of made him like have a couple gray streaks here. It's okay. Gonna work through that here. I was doing a couple small marks. A couple marks here. Again, I'm gonna kind of keep going back and forth to this to keep like the tendrils feel like there's so many layers of them and they're moving all within each other. And just really like climbing up that wall, you know. And just keep seeing the level that I want the background to be at so that I can continue pushing the foreground where I need it to go. So similar to the charcoal drawing that we worked on. You want it all to be in sync. You don't want, like, I don't want to just finish her hyper done, all highlighted, everything good to go, and then have all the rest unfinished. It's just tough to mentally see it. There are artists that do that, you know what I mean? You see like the time lapse and it's cool. It's difficult. So I kind of work in like, I don't know, concentric circles sounds like the term, but I don't think that's right. So. But like I definitely like, again, circle out and around. And I will work in sections to a point of to a certain point of finish. This is like 90% done. Everything here is 90% done. And I just kind of keep moving through. And the background, like I say, is I continue working 90% for how much of the foreground is done. Because again, I don't want it to start overpowering the foreground necessarily. As I say that, that actually sounds like an interesting sort of drawing. Because you could start to make the case that it's overpowering, taking over much like it does in the game, you know what I mean? But we're not trying to get too, you know, whatever that word is, not philosophical, but into the sea. It's gone. I don't know what it is. Never do it. Ultimately, we're just kind of going through here and continuing to build up on the shapes and the layers, like we said, so that the tendrils will again continue to kind of just be a lot of them, and then we'll come in with I think this might be a lot of colored pencil. But we're gonna see. Again, keep going back and forth. So I'm just, like I say, I finish all the way around. I work the way I work because it just helps me continue to see things that I need to see. This is a really fun piece, though. I love when I find paintings, images, references. I shouldn't say a painting 'cause it's not a painting. When I find references, I don't know, that I just sit there and go, oh yeah, that's a painting. I'm going to make that a painting. And it's not even like a question. It's like, well, why, blah, blah. It's like, no, it just looks like it's made to be a painting. And you can just have fun with it or whatever. And you just jump right to it. Like I say, it just consumes you. I was going to bed. I was like, all right, it's going to be fun to finish. I wanted just to keep working. You get in those states where you just want to keep working, but you have to take your breaks. You have to make sure you stay fresh. But because you just like the idea and what you're doing, you just want to just go, man. It's a beautiful, beautiful state to be in, but you got to work to get there. You got to stay inspired. You got to keep working at it. You got to let go and enjoy the process. Because you're not going to want to keep going because you love the final artwork. You're going to want to keep going because you just love the process of making. Done. Love the process of creating. That's it. That will always be what drives you to keep going. Because the minute you love a piece and you're like, oh my God, I love that piece so much, I have to go make another one, that next one is not going to come out the same. But when you love the process, when you can't wait to sit down and throw paint on paper, scribble, draw, make marks, write notes, write music, write words, make jewelry, whatever it is, it's so special and fun. All right, we're going to continue this. We're going to take a quick 15-minute break. 15? Oh, am I going for lunch? 5-minute break. That was weird. Five-minute break, and then we'll come back. Finish out his face. Finish out the shotgun double barrel. Start painting, working some of the background, and then finish out really with the highlights here. We're liking it though. We're having fun with it. It's coming out nice. It's coming out like we want it. Like we said, the graphic, nice style, good line work, some good painting, good colors, good values, good shading, and good fun. That's it. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Be sure to hit that like and that sub down below. Follow the link tree, the links to the Discord, artist website, store, all the social medias. Anything you want to know. New blog post is up. It's also found on that link tree. We're going to take a 5-minute break, come back, finish out Joel's face, and keep grinding. Happy Friday, gang. Oh, who done it? Who done it part 2? Reminds me of like the old mystery stories that Dad used to play in the car rides. I miss those. Those were good actually. You would like sit back, shut your eyes. They would do like all the audio of like the door would open, the chung, 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 stairs. That was good. Definitely has that vibe. All right, so we're gonna get into I gotta get a mount here for this monitor. I mean, for this camera. Somebody wants to invest in a secure, less shaky camera mount, let me know. Until then, get back to the painting. I'm right here. I'm live. I'm literally live. Okay, so I'm FaceTiming and chatting with someone. I don't even know if they can hear me right now. Hey, you. How is it so hard to log in and chat? Login's gonna be... All right, let's see. We're taking 2 minutes here. Here, we'll go main talk. We're chilling right now. We're taking 2 minutes to try to figure out how to log into YouTube. You're gonna log in on the top right of your screen of the window. It's gonna be a circle login. If you see your login, it'll say your name. On the channel, if your chat is hidden, it's gonna say like a like button, share clip, and then there's gonna be a show chat button. And in the show chat button, you scroll down and it'll say chat publicly as blank, and it should say your username right there. You type and then you click the arrow and you should chat. If anything's not there accurately, you can go to the top right, try to log in. I do have subscriber only chat enabled. So if you're not subscribed, you can't chat. So if you hit subscribe, you have to wait 5 minutes before you can chat. Otherwise, sometimes the chat, the only thing that does happen is the chat is hidden sometimes. So you have to find show chat, which is either in line with the like, share, with like the thumbs up, thumbs down, share, clip button, or it's above the next like recommended videos. And it'll say show chat. It's in a little long oval. That's how we jump in the chat there. Oh my God. And that is why we do a walkthrough. I may be in, she says. You sure are. Wow. What a world. Now we can get back to work. That's why we walked through there. So we did the old walkthrough. Gotta help out. Gotta help out. We got some creepy music here. Creepy music. All right, we're gonna jump right into it here. We're gonna go through, finish out his face. Yeah, we pulled some of the highlights back here. We popped some of the highlights out a little bit more. Again, I don't know if this is a fact or not, but I find when I'm working with watercolor, if I let it dry and sit naturally, maybe with a blow dryer as well, I can pull up more pigment. Sometimes then when I'm working on it consistently and it starts getting too wet, and you get some of these beautiful transparent tones that are just so stricken with light. Magnificent. So that's how we got that. We're gonna continue in here. We just did this. We're gonna continue in going through. We like the pencil work. We like the background. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna grab colored pencils, but we're gonna go through that first with a couple like gray washes almost. It's very gray. We're gonna put more tones in the background as well, but not much. We don't love the watercolor feel here. See how that's kind of like bleeding out? We don't want that. It's a little distracting for my eye. Oh, she made it into chat and now she's gone again. That happens. All right, let's get Joel done here. Did we have? Did, right? Yeah. That doesn't feel right. I don't remember what we were using for the skin tone. I don't think it was this. This was definitely the one we were using. Yeah, I guess it was this. All right, cool. Yeah, that looks right. All right, cool. Oh, there it is. Happy Friday. And all colors always been a challenge. This is really helpful. You're actually painting? That would be fun. That would be really fun. And happy Friday. We've made it another week. I feel like everybody's actually back to being busy. January was just such a hectic month, it felt like. Is way too rosy to start. He's not gonna have rosy red cheeks. That. More green in his skin, huh? This is fun. One of those skin tones that I would oil painting. I would probably try to use a orange and Viridian. The orange provides a really nice, vibrant. Again, it's a yellow and red, so you're already at your yellow and red. And the Viridian, instead of a blue, is a green, which is technically a blue. This has more yellow. And you kind of start working in between grays, you know? Like we've said quite a few times. He has like a very olive skin tone. Actually sometimes a tough skin tone to get to. That's kind of why I started with a green and an orange, because I'm already in the green sort of range. If you go red, it's all the same, but sometimes if you go red, yellow, blue, you then throw in a green, it starts to get muddy because your blue is kind of supposed to be your green. I think that's close. Gonna be more reds and warms in his neck here for sure. Adding literally a drop of like bright vibrant red, kind of perk the color up just a little bit. Just don't want it to be too dark when I first put it down here. She has a much easier skin tone because it's a little bit more pale. Issue, sort of. You can kind of get to it quicker. Tones are tricky. That's closer. That's closer. A little bit more red. Might just be for me too. I don't know. Everybody has problem with olive skin tones versus vice versa. But kind of tricky. I see more greens. I see very green. So I tend to notice the olive skin tones, and then I feel like I over exaggerate it, and it just like starts looking green. So it's a harder little skin tone for me to kind of work with and recognize. The fun part is learning how you see too. That's very important. Because not everybody sees the same color. Literally. Our cones are all different in our eyes, and what we see is just very different. People keep texting me, and I don't see text when I don't have my phone in front of me. One, when I'm doing artwork, but two, when I'm live streaming. I don't see any of them, unfortunately, so sucks. I don't really check my phone when I'm painting, much less like live. But when I'm painting, I certainly put my phone where I can't see it. I don't know if that's the best strategy as far as safety goes, but it's too distracting. Can't be looking at something. It's hard enough to read chat, but never mind a phone that just starts sucking hours away. Happens quick. Happens quick on those phones, I tell ya. So yeah, I know, and it pops up on my computer, but not quick enough that I'll see it. So, sorry everybody. I'm sorry if you're here and you're texting me. I'm sorry I'm not seeing it. It's an emergency. Please call. Call loudly because I'm in a basement. Ha! Jokes are fun, right? We all like jokes, don't we? Ariel really doesn't like that joke. Every time, and I mean, now I'm making a point to make it like kind of annoying. Every time she goes, "I've lost my phone. Can you call me?" Oh, it's just an alley-oop. Ariel, just as loud as I can. Last. Funny every time to me. Oh yeah, I get little alerts on my PC, but I can't keep them up where I start reading them. It's just too much. I definitely recommend while you're creating your art that you creating anything, I should say. Very much keep in mind that practice, because sometimes you can be in a really good rhythm. And all it takes is to glance at the phone before you're just very deep in, or you're very deep doom scrolling. Good color. This is a good color because it's close to a nice brown olive that I'm gonna keep pushing greens here or there, similar to how I did with her face. I can definitely add a little bit of a pale green without muddying it up and changing the value. Hey, Mike, what's up? Same name, man. Ha. Where did I get the idea for the drawing? So, this is a fun piece because it kind of is one of my funnest ways to find inspiration, in that it's a photograph that it's a photograph of a TV show, The Last of Us, which was from a video game, one of the most popular PlayStation games of all time, and they just made it into a TV series, The Last of Us, same name, and we're watching it. Just came out a few weeks ago. It's on HBO. Great show, but it's awesome, one, and two, the picture kind of popped up. It's like an ad for the TV show. The actors are Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, and they're freaking incredible in it. But it was one of those pieces, and I say it's one of my favorite pieces to sort of find and create because I saw it, and it's a great photograph, but to me it just read so much better as a painting, or had potential to read as a painting. Which is kind of, what's the wording? I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people, because I try to say that there's pieces, like I've said, that's a big part of how I find how I choose the medium for the piece, is depending on the subject matter of the reference, there's just better and worse mediums to use. Some images are just better as a photograph. So people are like, hey, can you paint this photo? Yeah, but just know that's its best form right there. And as an artist, that's the funnest thing that I see is sometimes there's images that are photographs or even drawings. And you can sit there and go, oh, you know what, that's going to be a fun piece? A painting or a charcoal drawing. Strip the colors and just go values, or remove the background, just focus on the paint. So it's one of those pieces that you just see it clicks, and I go, yep, that's a watercolor painting, let's go. And you just start making it happen. Which is very fun. And again, that's why I say it's one of my favorite style pieces, because you're consumed with it mentally. So you just really have fun putting it down. If that makes sense. Facial expressions are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, they're great. Again, this is not my creation. This is me reinterpreting a fun piece of two great actors. You know what I mean? So again, same as working with a great model. If they're going to show, good expression, and you can capture that expression, it's a good pairing. So his skin's getting a little dark. I have to pull a lot of that up, I think. But it's going to be similar to her, where some of these best lights are from underneath the, that's kind of what I'm doing here, is I'm putting down a lot of colors that I think will pull up and will be an awesome color underneath in a wash. Like a nice transparent wash. Because a lot of that I'll put in a little bit more green in here. Most of the time I put down exactly what I see, but again, because with skin tones, I sometimes try to put down early washes. And again, then you can always fix it. Let's put it this way, if you put something down to pick up paint and use it as transparency, you can always just not use it as transparency and leave it covered. You know what I mean? Which is a fun way to experiment with using transparency in your paintings. It's a little freeing almost. Way too dark though there. Produce superheroes, Superman, they're fun. I haven't done enough. They're very, very fun though. Any of these, one of my big things, I might just keep saying it, whatever, but it's always very fun to reinterpret recognizable characters, because it goes back to like the old comics where there was, so early Superman, early Spider-Man, early Batman, when they were producing all those comics, the comic books, not comic comedian stand-up, they had different artists depending on if they were alive, dead, hired, fired, etc. So there was always almost a little difference, sometimes a big difference in styles of superheroes. They had Spider-Man is one of the most noticeable because he's had different webs in all. There's like 4 or 5 famous types of Spider-Man webs that are like, one is like it's twisted, one is like it just shoots out, one is like it's separated, and it all just came down to different artists reinterpreting Spider-Man. And they sort of, again, they're all Spider-Man, they all have different, little different costumes, but it's a very fun thing to see, and you can really see an artist's interpretation because you know what it kind of looks like, or you have a little bit more of a reference. So it's very fun doing recognizable characters in your own style a lot of the time. Very, very fun. I've done a lot of sketches. I've done some sketches. Black Panther, Star-Lord, Guardians of the Galaxy. I always enjoy them, and I want to keep doing much more. I've done Judge Dredd through Inktober. That was a really fun one. Not Barbara Judge Herschel. I don't think that's her last name. But not like the Judge Dredd. I did the female version. Change things up, make it more fun. That's the color. See, we needed a little bit more olive, like we had said. And again, watercolor is fun. I'm just going to pick some of this up here. All these mediums, you can just, again, there's no, it's funny. Like I was talking the other day, I was making an example of the blue. And until the piece is done, you really can't go through and say it's good or bad. You can say it's accurate or inaccurate, depending on what your goals are. But the same as you crack, like, you just start a cake and you have the powder, you crack some eggs, you put some water, and then you take a spoonful and you eat it. It's going to be really bad. It's going to taste significantly different than if you finish that cake. And art really different, like anything. Beethoven, any of these songs, hear the first draft, it's unfinished. You're like, what is that? They keep finishing, and it's like, oh, I see what you did there. I get it. I get it. All right, well done. Well played, sir. That's the color. It's too opaque for me right now, though. I don't want that much going down. I don't know why I can't thin this out. See how when we pick it up, we get this beautiful, transparent, like, I don't know. There's no, that's like it's so fun. And there's probably a way to master watercolor and do that right off the bat. But because I'm just so used to oil painting and using transparencies in a different style, I think it still works, I'll be honest. So see how I was saying that was too opaque earlier? See how it's just far more watercolor-ish now. So I can kind of go through and start layering it a little bit more without having to worry about it being super opaque and all like one value right off the bat. I can go through and work different layers for different dark, like values. Exactly that. I was going to try to word it differently, but that's like verbatim what I'm doing. So I'll go over that, and if there's 2 layers next to 1 layer, it'll look darker because it's just 2 layers of pigment. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Appreciate you. Appreciate the questions. Appreciate you hanging. You know, it's tough to sit in a stream and kick it but again, hopefully it's while you're at work. Everybody's able to keep cruising and grinding and doing some fun stuff. Like the energy of, you know, working together, getting work done, kind of being in the same creative space. Always very much my goal for streams like this, you know. If anybody sees an official watercolor palette that's just 3 pans like this, send me the link. I really like this style. I want to put a little bit more red in through here. So you can pick it up and just get that nice, just like a really nice glow to the skin tone. Worked into the paper nicely. Has a nice little glow, a shine, a fresh feel to it. I like to think so, at least. Helps me sleep at night, you know what I'm saying? Serious? I don't know. Oh, we got Chase song here. What's this? The clock is ticking. Oh, you can tell right away. Clock's on. You gotta just go, you know? Game on. Very much starting to look more like the video game character than Pedro Pascal, so we have to keep... Which I don't even know what the video game character looks like, so I don't know why that would happen. Wild coincidence. But it's like anything. We keep layering it up. You get close with the first color, you can always kind of glaze and tweak it. Definitely what we'll be doing. Again, it's very important just to get paint on the canvas, on the paper. You can always glaze and manipulate it later. But if you just have white there, you're never going to be able to fix it. Beards are always kind of tricky, especially when it's just like a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow sort of thing. Almost gets like a blue. Like a blue hue almost, like a gray, blue. Again, you kind of just squint down and work through it as if it's no different, I guess. Again, take your time mixing up your paints and your colors. Taking time on your palette will make the painting easier. Always. I have a lavalier mic. I'm looking on photo. It's very handy. Yeah, send me a picture. For sure, I'll check it out. That's cool. I don't know the brand off the top of my head. Is it a USB microphone or the other, like the audio, the XLR audio cable or whatever? I think it's an XLR cable. So what we have to do, and we see it right now, is we have to darken up our darkest dark. That's why we're going back and forth with these colors, because we don't have our darkest dark in place on him. Which makes it tough to see values, colors, tones. Makes it tough to see everything if you don't really have your darkest dark. And everybody hears that and gets sick of hearing it because they hear it all through art school. But what it means is you just need accurate colors to compare things to. And this being this gray is wrong. So it's impossible. The color literally changes. It's a different color. Colors change depending on what's next to them. It's frustrating, but it's a fact. If you rewatch a while back, that was one of the first things I said I had to do, was darken up the back of his hair, because we see it accurately. It's almost a perfect black back there. I'm gonna go back into our Payne's blue gray. I don't actually think that's the blue gray. The great color. Ancient relic. I remember this from yesterday too. This is a bop. It's not. It's very spooky, but very good. Don't make it next to impossible on yourself when you're painting. Find your darkest dark. And put it in. I can say from experience, I worked the opposite like that for a while. And the reason being is I was kind of always nervous to put that dark value or the light or the dark. You're just hurting yourself. Just throw it in there, throw a black in there, throw that white, perfect white. The 10 on the value scale, whatever it might be, like we've talked about, and just help yourself see the values and colors that you should be using. You can't tell where it is, squint down, and you'll start to see a lot of them, and you can put in a lot of darks. And then as you're putting them down, you'll notice which is the darkest dark. Good jam, right? Like the same song. Oop. How fast I turned. I'll have to get, well, you guys can see how much time I spend in the palette. And again, just trying to get so close that it's easier on the paper. Alright, there we go. Here with just more pigment, I think, more than anything. Wireless mics. Oh yeah, cool. Awesome. Love that. I want to do some streaming and work from, like, you know, the Met and all that sort of stuff would be really fun, I think. Would be perfect. I think it'd be very fun to do some. I don't know if I can stream. Might have to be like, you know, secret streams. But I think it'd be very fun. It'd be a hell of a story kicked out of the Met for streaming, right? Never know how you're gonna get famous. That could be it. Artist thrown out of Met. Security destroys thousands of dollars worth of artwork in the process. Are we being too strict with our artists? You never know. I mean, anything's possible, right? Who knows? I don't think we go for that. You know what I'm saying? But hey. Neck was getting a little too, like, all over the place there. I don't know why I enjoy these brush pens so much. I just think it's easier and more efficient to, like, throw down blocks of color and more enjoyable. So I definitely find it more enjoyable than having to go like back and forth into the water cup. A lot of this, I'll come back in as well, like I did with Miss Bella, and use a nice black, you know what I mean, a black ink pen. I'm trying to dry brush through this too. I don't know if that even works with watercolor. Working with watercolor for like a month, all right? So keep the judgment to a minimum, people. It's fun though. Her face is fabulous. Thank you. That's like the nice way of saying his face needs a lot of work. I could not. You set it up too easy. No, thank you very, very much. Like we said, he's just sort of getting started and underway. You know what I mean? So we can't judge him yet. Yeah, these are real people, but we are trying to keep it like we said, kind of graphic novelish. So much video game because their video game characters kind of exist. Like kind of comic booky. Definitely artsy. I mean, everybody knows we're going for art. Everybody knows we're trying to keep it interesting. Always our number one goal. That's true. I know that it was too easy. And her face is just done. And kind of definitely looking at the camera. Far more just, again, captivating of a pose alone. Looking back like that versus just a straight portrait, obviously, is always gonna catch your eye. Pretty quickly. Right? A lot of this I'll come back in with white gel pen too. That's it, looking at the camera. Yeah, totally, right? 100%. Her view is far more interactive with the viewer. or her look is gonna get far more of a response from everybody. Like that's the beauty. This image just has a lot of good in it that I really liked. Like I said, there's a fun balance that really just lends itself to a fun watercolor painting. To me, at least. That works. When we're working on charcoal, sometimes we want to try to make, when we're working with the beard or the hair, fur, softer surfaces, want to try to make smaller marks look like bigger shapes, so that it doesn't just get all scratchy and just look like line after line after line after line. So again, I'm trying to come in here and get rid of some of these specific other marks and soften some of the edges with a little bit of a gray that's gonna neutralize almost everything here. But I'm also trying to put it in small groups of shapes so that it forms a bigger shape. So again, like right here, instead of just going like this, I'm going like this, so that it kind of forms like a box instead of just marks. Instead of just doing beard hair, kind of will go like this, etc. There's no right or wrong either. So if you don't do that, don't, that's fine too. I just find it keeps it a little bit more interesting more times than not. Music's intense, right? Yeah. I know. It's spooky. Fits the show perfect. This song does at least. We're just having fun with the process. Like we say, enjoy the process. That's all we're doing. That's all we ask everybody to do. That's really all we can do. If you're not enjoying the process, find some way to enjoy it, or find something else that you can, because I don't know. The game. We're going to come through and do a lot of the same marks, styles on that we did with her face, and it's going to just really start shaping and changing this face we have here, because I'm liking the tones that we're working with. This is a little different. Building suspense. It's not exactly a creative title, but it's also not wrong, you know. Makes me paint faster though. Makes me like, oh god, I have to get it done. Building suspense. Brush. Right? There's no way that doesn't just build suspense for every human. It has to be right around an hour again. My brain just knows. My brain just kind of goes like, I am getting tired and need a break. Right, you're right. That's fair, brain. What I'm putting down now, I'm hoping will again be part of what I'll pick up and give us like a gorgeous sort of transparency here, because it's going to be a little bit more reddish pink. I think that's going to work for us. You can see how it's just a little too red here. Actually, that dash more red. A little more purple, but close to it. A little bit more brown there. That'll be part of what we'll be able to fix with a pen here. Because we'll be able to sneak in there with some nice line work and really change up the shape appropriately. But let's do this so it starts looking correctly. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? No. Let's jump right in. I do need it to dry a little bit, but that's okay. We'll definitely be able to get that vibrancy here that we want to get. Again, this is part of what I always say is why it's important to put paint down. You can always manipulate it once it's down. It's in your palette. You can only do so much with it. Mix it and mix it and mix it. But until it's on the canvas, on the paper. Do so much. Biggest thing I try to tell people. Because that was a big thing for me. That was definitely, I think that's a common thing for maybe, well, I don't know. I've definitely heard of, I've had the conversation with a couple artists. And it comes up quite a bit that, yeah, because you don't want to make a mistake, right? You want it to, you know, you don't want to mess up. You want the paint to be right. Mess up, learn. Put paint down, fix it. Again, don't just put paint down and try to be wrong. Where's the difference? But put paint down with confidence, because again, confidence is nothing more than knowing that you can fix it if you make a mistake. Confidence is not knowing you can do it right the first time. It is just knowing that you can fix it if you make a mistake. And when you think like that, you just kind of like game on, right? Like what would you be afraid of? Fix it. Fix anything. If you can't, redo it. Oh, but it took me so long, I'll never be able to get these marks again. Well, then there was an accident and you'll never be able to do it again either way. So stop painting. Or get back into it and do it again. Some of the best painters I've ever spoken with have stories of their masters literally just erasing their longest, most successful favorite painting. Had it happen to me, but it never really hits home when I say it about myself. And again, it's not that it's a mistake. It's not that you didn't put work in, and it's not like, oh, that really hurts. But it's like, cool, you did it. You can do it again. Have the confidence that you can do it again. If it gets messed up, yeah, it's a bummer, but guess what? You'll paint it again. It'll probably be a little better. Hopefully you've learned. Improve some techniques, you know what I mean? All that. Yeah, my thoughts. There's the usual ramble sesh. I feel like there's usually one of those a stream. Pretty good, pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. What looks weird is the eyebrow because it's just so bright. One of the funnest things with watercolors too is you can always go in with colored pencil to really kick up that some highlights, some pigment tones. Pretty fun. Constantly squinting down, seeing what I want to put down, seeing what I have to pick up, seeing what values need to be lightened, what values need to be darkened. And right now I'm going through with just a dry brush and picking up pigment where I need things to be light, a little bit lighter. And at the same time blending out edges. If I pick up a lot of paint and I'm moving it around, you can sometimes push it towards a sharp edge and it'll blend it right out. Because again, you're literally moving pigment around on the page. Let to darken some of that up in here. Back. Art's fun, huh? Ashdown feels like Apocalypto soundtrack. And the best thing you can do to learn a medium is to just start using multiple mediums. Things stay fresh. They're all just so similar that it's much more about, again, just the confidence of doing it and very much enjoying the process. The million right ways to do something, a million wrong ways to do it too. Especially when it comes to art, depending on who you talk to. And I'm the right one. No. Not. I can't even get through that with a straight face. If anybody says that, they are bullshitting a bullshitter. Nobody has the one trick. I want to get like nice. That's bad. Probably tweak that up a lot. Everything's gone. Oh my gosh, the music stopped. My screen just fell asleep. Oh my god. All right, that means it's 5-minute break time. Looking good though. Looking good. Are liking the process here and the piece. And now we go chill music to finish to bring it down a little. right, we're having fun with this piece a lot. Really having fun creating these days. It's exciting. It's fun. You can tell because I just don't take breaks. I keep going. I mean, again, there's no other reason that I would keep working if I wasn't all in. Oh, that's what I have to do too here. Get this eyebrow. Not like bleached. Man doesn't have a bleached eyebrow. Whoa. Saw that coming. Sorry if my hat was on stream It's fun when it all starts coming together. Again, the whole process is very fun, but when it all starts tying together, whoo, it's exciting. Baloo, what up, baby? Happy Friday, big dog. About to take a quick break here. But you know me, I said that about 30 minutes ago. There you have a Discord. My day's rough. Oh no. You're fucking hilarious, bro. That's funny. That sucks, dude. TVs aren't that bad though, because you don't need like a crazy TV nowadays either, which is bad day. You know what I mean? Like TVs, at least they're not like crazy expensive like they used to be. There was a time where TVs were bullshit to buy. But yeah, it's always a bad hit. So here's a fun part of a tip of why this eye looks weird, is because his iris is just white. It can't be. Not in enough light to be just perfectly white. But a good tip is to do it almost like a light grayish blue. it'll just tone it back enough. Because it's in shadow there. That it can't be a perfect white. This won't be. Hers probably will be because hers is in perfect light. As we slowly darken this iris, it's going to just start to really come to life here. And I shouldn't say come to life, but just really work together well. Is the word super glue bad? Kids, motherboards, and super glue right there. No shot. I'm just kind of trying to sneak up on that value. That's about it. And it's not quite that dark, obviously. In between. Wow, it smells like fire. That's the worst. You're like, what's that smell? Fire. Hey, the good thing, everybody's safe, everybody's healthy. We can replace the TV, right? I mean, again, shitty day. Always healthy and happy. That's what matters still. We lost any fingers or digits in the ordeal. Big. That's pretty close. Hold on, would look over. Don't say that. I don't believe it. One day I'll die to my own stupidity. Oh my god. All healthy here, that's it. Lucky or not. Sometimes lucky's the only thing that... Sometimes luck's the only thing keeping us healthy. That's fine. Wow. I gotta go take 5 here. I gotta come back and I'm looking at what I have to do when I get back. We're liking it though. Alright. 5-minute break. Take an oil rig for me. I got you. Take a rig for me. All right, we're gonna come back, finish it up. Looking nice, looking nice. Pedro Pascal, Bella Ramsey, looking strong. Yeah. Go for another 30, 40 minutes or so. Yeah, it's already late. Damn. Yeah, so this might be a 3-part piece, but we're gonna go for a 5-minute break, come back, keep working. See what we can get done. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Hit that like and that sub down below. Be right back. Much love, gang. Appreciate everybody hanging out big time. A rat back. That looked weird. Oh, okay. Looked like it was like lagging there. That's funny. Me, all right. Internet in our area has been weird, so we already went 2 hours 40 minutes. If we get cut out now, just know the internet died on me. It's weird in Williamsburg for some reason. But saying the chat's not working, sorry. And DMZ with blue? Alright, I'll hit you up. It'll be the zone. But might be able to make it happen today. Alright, looking good. Everything looking good. My Mac just kicks out of the right Wi-Fi. I don't know why. I'll have to check out its settings, but alright, let's keep cruising here. Can do a little bit more work. We can go for, like I said, 20, 30 more minutes for the stream today. Then we're going to be wrapping it up, and we're going to either be finishing it off stream, adding one this weekend. We'll see. I don't know. Let's worry about that when we get there. We please can. Jesus. I might sneak in and steal that beard. Oh, they've tried. Oh, they've tried. %, I got you today, bro. 100%. There's only 2 of us. We're running duos. Game on. When I end here, I just have to do like dog stuff. Actual animal stuff, and then I'll be back. Game on, guaranteed. You've never gotten a guarantee before. All right, let's get back into it. So we know what we're gonna do. Every time we take our break, like we say, we're going to get back into it. We're going to look at our marks. We're going to see what we want to work on, what needs fixing, what needs to be left, etc. Hold on, I had a title I wanted to write down. My notes are just full. The level of notes that I have, every thought I have goes in my notes. I have over 1,500 notes at this point in time on my phone. Like, stacks. Ideas, paintings, thoughts, poems, stuff I'll never get to, stuff I'll finish, just everything. Crazy. File folder thought. Exactly, dude. All the thoughts and the marks. Otherwise they disappear, right? going through here, we're still picking up a lot. We're trying to pick up a lot of this so we can get our lights to show through. And again, just moving paint around. That's all we're doing right now. Moving pigment around. Softening edges. See, we're literally pulling pigment from dark to light here to soften and reshape that edge. I don't know if you can actually see the difference after, but it's one of those things that I just can see it and know. So I hope you guys kind of can too. I try to call out some pretty specific moments or shapes that it really kicks in and you can tell. Like we'll get like that eyebrow bump. We'll pull that right out right here by just pushing the pigment into the dark. I mean, that's significant. Really gotta go before the phone dies. Here's if you can lose game, no doubt, bro. I'm getting a little weak, literally. I'm dying. Dude, fam, we'll talk soon. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for hanging out, bro. I will hit you up ASAP when I'm back on the gaming machine today, bro. Appreciate you chilling, brother. I hope your day picks up. I hope we were already able to make it a little bit better. Just with some good vibes. Take care, brother. Much love, baby. You know it, but I'll say it for you. Stay healthy and stay happy, big dog. Curious if micron pens or if white comes in, like if there fine tip white pens. Is that a weird question to ask? Can't think if I've ever seen them. I kind of want them if they exist. Just move some pigment around. Gonna put some more down. A couple darker where we need some dark values, and again, we're kind of keeping in mind the existence of the beard as like an overlay almost. So just like a little bit different color and value and shapes. Gonna be a little bit more gray. A little bit cooler in certain spots. Butter. Put this down kind of opaque-ish. Because what we're going to do is we're actually going to pick that up. Exactly what we're gonna do. Perfect. Watercolors, your finger makes a great mark. Makes a great tool. Kind of like stamps it in and like blends it almost. It's pretty nice. The famous Red Skelton is not only a great artist that actually made more money off his paintings than his TV career. He would write down short stories, ideas, and music every day. No shit. I believe it. That's what I do. The hard part is getting to it all. That's just a challenge. And the fun part, right? I mean, I'm also blessed to have ideas like that. There were 8,000 songs and stories by the time of his death? No shit. Red Skeleton? No way. I don't know how I haven't heard of that. That's crazy. That's like really cool. Brian from the Office does that with all of his writings. He has notebooks on notebooks of like jokes. Like actually like black little moleskins. Just he has like a shoebox full of them. He did a fascinating interview actually about the Office. I can't think of the guy's real name, unfortunately. I know him as he's Ryan to me. I'm sorry. Novak. Brandon Novak? Doesn't sound right, but yeah, it was fascinating. They did something like that. They did an interview and he had like a shoebox full of just thoughts and jokes and little ideas and stuff. I was like, no shit. I always try to use actual notebooks. I can't. I just end up going back to my notes. It's too accessible, I think, is what ends up happening. Sorrow gets over 60K a year. Claims he'd earned what? When was he alive? What was his art? Was he like a comic book artist or like a fine artist sort of painter? I feel like just from the name feels like a comic book artist almost. Like 60s, 70s, but I guess to sell art at that time might have been easy. So maybe not. That's fascinating. I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna have to look into this career of his. Gonna have to give him a little bit of a study. You know what I'm saying? See what he did that seemed to work so damn well. I got the notebooks of stuff. So if it was just the notebooks, cha-ching. No. Maybe I just have to price my stuff at 60K and it'll. We think that's the trick? Maybe? Produced over 1,000 paintings of clowns. All right, now I feel like I might be being trolled. That feels a little made up, maybe. Who's buying $60,000 clown paintings? Where is that art collector? When was he alive? When did he live? But no shot he was selling clown paintings for $60,000. What paintings were selling for $60K? I'm gonna start doing that. Just make it hyper exclusive. No shit. Wow. It was old. Almost 90? 80 something, right? Or am I just doing that math wrong? Long time for an artist, I feel like, actually. A long time for someone born in 1913, I guess, right? Didn't necessarily have the best knowledge or healthcare information back then about how to prep for the long, how to take care of yourself. But when you're doing something you love, yeah, I think a lot of this will start to pick up after I let it sit here. Wow, when did his painting start selling for that much money? That's fascinating. 1913. So what was some clown painting? I like it. I'm liking it. Couple marks I want to soften. Pick up. Right around here, I want to pick up quite a bit. Wow, that's fascinating. Started producing his artwork in 1943, but kept it private for many years. So look! Safe to say me and him have a little different approach. Tough to say whose is better so far. There we go. Ah. Hello. Also inspired to try his hand after visiting a Chicago store that had various pieces of lace carved out. Bunch of. That day he bought his own art supplies. No shit. So we saw art that he just said, nah, that ain't it. That true? He saw a bunch of art and was like, nope. Anything you can do, I can do better. And then just proceeded to do it better. Boss move. Very nice. Liking it. We're liking it. Lighter in here. Damn, we reached 3 hours. All right, we're gonna be finishing up soon. Wrapping up. Gonna put a couple more marks on this, and then we'll have to finish up the background. Question: what is this, people? Who told me to leave that space there? Huh? Huh? That doesn't belong there. Someone told me it. Not my mistake. Oh, it's fun to make pranks. I have to look up this red skeleton here. You think it's because of his cool nickname? Probably, right? I have to get a cool nickname. Artist of Death. Pretty cool. More of like an assassin. Pretty good though. Pretty good. I mean, like first brainstorm right at the top of my head, you know? Come on. Not bad. I won't use it, I'm just saying. Let's also not like rule it right out. Detroit Dev's first public showing of his work by a former art student in 1964. Dad. It's looking nice. Nice. Do little pick me up here. Little softening. Okay. Trying to fix up that neck a little bit because again he doesn't have quite such a defined, like, I don't know, all those marks are just a little too marky, you know what I mean? Gotta go. Piece looks great. Remember to be impressed. People game at 5:30. Go get him, coach. Thank you for hanging out and chatting, man. Means the world. Always fun too. Appreciate you. Go get that win, baby. We're wrapping up here too. We're wrapping up here too, people. We gotta do it. Looking good though. It's right where we wanted a lot of it to be. Very nice. So it kind of looks weird is that it stops right at that ear joint when in reality the chin goes under the ear, right? I mean, it just keeps going right around, obviously. It doesn't stop right there. So that totally changes the shape of the jaw if you don't have that. Which is very much what I was looking at. You can see already the difference of the shape of the jaw. Very nice. We might. So we're going again. We are wrapping this piece. Well, we're wrapping up the stream here. We finished up Joel. There's a chance we go back in and tweak it out a little bit. But otherwise, I think there definitely might be a chance that I finish this off stream too. It might just come together pretty well. We'll see though. Next week we have I'm gonna keep painting because I'm gonna talk about all this anyway. Not as it darkened that. Now I'm going back and forth here with that beard. There we go. sky is still just a little bit too bright here. Let's darken. Let's add a little bit gray there. That's better. Perfect. That's nice. Fits with the values all around it. What we could still do is make this a little lighter in here around the eye, actually, surprisingly enough. He thinks that's where we're gonna leave it for. That's where we're gonna wrap it up for today. Joel is complete. Yeah, it looks good. I have no problems with it, right? If you do, you can just get up. No. Ah ha 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 ha. No, let me know your thoughts, what you're thinking. Comment down below. I think the piece is coming together, coming out very nicely. It all works really well. Go. I like it. All right. Very nice. That is where we're going to wrap it up. We're going to be getting out of here for the weekend, I believe. Not sure. I don't think we'll be doing a stream tomorrow. We'll either save this for next week or be finishing it up off stream. We have a new blog post up that you guys can check out. Again, it's in the link tree in the description. We have a new video coming out this weekend. Oil painting time lapse from last week. So we're going to be getting that up this weekend as well. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. And then we'll be back next week, Monday through Friday, back to the creating. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much for hanging out. I can't thank you guys enough for chatting, chilling, vibing, enjoying the Friday together. Please be sure to hit that like and that sub down below. Comment, let me know your thoughts. Join the Discord. Follow all the socials. Check out the website. A lot of the artwork we've been creating is going to be available for sale on there as well. And until next time, I'm going to see you. But you guys know it. I'm still going to say it. Stay healthy and stay happy, gang. Much love, everybody.